Welcome one and all to the K.O.E. Nation. And as always, we are going to start with our national anthem. Hands over your hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Welcome one and all to the K.O.E. Nation. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you beautiful people. I am Phil K.O.E., the devilishly handsome outlaw himself of the K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch. It is a pleasure to have all of your beautiful acquaintances come on in. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes, you got to start with our Star-Spangled Banner. But yes, I am Phil K.O.E., the King of Extreme, the Conqueror of the Ethereal, the Lord of the Scottish Highlands, the Prince and Potentate of the political parlance, and just one damn handsome man as it is. Pleasure to be with all of you beautiful people. Come on in, the water is fine. And this evening, I'm not flying solo. The third ever guest in Dog and Chicken Show, in K.O.E. Nation history from the Dog and Chicken Show. You know, one of these days I'll get the show right. The one and only Chicken. He is the current, reigning, defending, revolutionary wrestling podcast champion, the one, the only. He is the MC of Big Buckin' Empire himself. He is the master of the Dog and Chicken Show, and we were just doing some recording nights. So this weekend, not this weekend, but this Thursday, we've got a recorded episode that's going to be dropping at Dog and Chicken Show on YouTube and Facebook. Definitely check that out. You know it's the right thing to do at Big Bucket Empire. But yes, we are joined here this evening. So Chicken, my word, my God. So you have finally made it. You have ascended all the way to the peak of internet goodness. And you have landed at the K.O.E. Nation. There's really this is pretty much it. This is the career peak. I mean, Chicken, this is going to be one of those when you're looking back on your life. So, Chicken, what were your highlights? Well, there was the day I got married, the day my kid was born, and then the day I was on K.O.E. Nation. Other than that, I can't really remember much else. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to basically
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yes. So, and we got another comment. Colonel Sanders can't even beat him when it comes to Chicken. That is true. He is, yes. He is the master of all things chicken. And yes, but my word, my God. So Chicken, welcome to the K.O.E. Nation. You are now a denizen. And a lot of people don't know this. Chicken is one of the trusted thanes of the K.O.E. Nation. Because
the trusted thane.
Well, Tony's yes.
Yeah. But Tony's not on Twitch.
But Tony's not here, so she's like, well, Tony's not here, so fuck him.
Yeah, so fuck him, yeah.
Yeah, Chicken actually helped make me a titled Lord of the Scottish Highlands. And so
true.
I named him the trusted thane of the K.O.E. Nation. So he is actually titled within the
Not
K.O.E.
only,
Nation.
Not only Am I responsible for helping with that? I'm also responsible for Phil even being on a camera at all.
True.
I'm also partially responsible and maybe solely responsible for Phil being on Twitch altogether.
True. You are very responsible for inflicting me onto the world, chicken. You realize it's like you basically unleashed a force of nature, because there's a lot of times like, all right, chicken, I'm gonna say some pretty crazy shit. Let's find out together what I'm about to say. And so it's like, uh-oh, what's about to drop?
So the joke is, it came out to where eventually it came down to where Tony and I went, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And here
I'm
he is.
here. Yep. He said Beetlejuice 3 times and let me out. And unfortunately, there's really no way to put me back in the bottle. And he just unleashed me onto the world to all of you. And he gave me enough technology to be able to interact with all of you beautiful people. And yeah, Chicken, you were the one who basically got me a Twitch, because I was on one of these big panels and everyone's like, what's your Twitch? And I'd message Chicken, get me one of, like, how do I Twitchy the Twitch? Where's the Twitches?
that was almost exactly what you actually texted us.
Yeah, like, I guess I need to start twitching now.
Can I Twitch?
Know.
How do I Twitch, guys?
Yeah, like, and then people tell me I need to get a Twitter too, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get one of those too.
You don't have to get a Twitter. You still don't have to get a Twitter.
Thank God. But yes, all you beautiful people, be sure to comment, get all of your questions to the King of Extreme, so I can interact with all of you beautiful people, and we can make our lives better through more extremeness. But yes, oh God. So Chicken, you've got a couple of headlines that I do feel we should maybe get into.
Yes.
They're both pretty tasty. They're both pretty spicy. They both have some pretty fucked up implications. So let's start off with the pipeline, because that's the one I know the least about.
Okay. So on Friday, pipelines were hacked, I believe all the way from like Maryland to Texas. I might be off a little bit on that. But here's your news headline. Gas runs out of Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. North Carolina declares a state of emergency as cars line up outside stations in Virginia, Atlanta, Florida, and American Airlines adds extra stops to long-haul flights due to this. Now, this was one of those weird hacks. It's called a ransom hack. Typically, what happens to you as a citizen is they will steal your information and won't give it back to you till you pay a ransom fee, pretty much. So that's what happened to this pipeline. But this is a critical infrastructure. Oh Jesus, this has a lot of implications, and we're starting to see it happen. They're like, gas prices won't rise unless this happens for a long time. Well, it's been going on since Friday. It's now Monday night, and this is what we're seeing the outcomes of.
Oh Lord Almighty, I can only imagine. Like, I'm gonna start checking some commodity prices, because today was just the one day I haven't, I've been in the field. I haven't been all that checking on the internet, but I'm gonna bet commodity prices have been making some interesting moves. But also, there's a comment here. Ko means cow, however, in a lot of languages, but not picking favorites. Well, it's K.O.E, the King of Extreme. But yes, you are correct, sir, or ma'am, or whoever you are. I am the most sacred of cows. There is no cow more sacred than the King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E. So yes, thank you, you beautiful soul out there, for reminding all of these beautiful people the glory that is Phil K.O.E. Thank you. But all right, sorry, Chicken. I had to address my beautiful, glorious.
Oh no, you're fine. I wouldn't expect anything less. So the Colonial Pipeline between Texas and New Jersey was hacked on Thursday. The 5,500-mile pipeline carries nearly half of the East Coast fuel supply. Half of the East Coast fuel supply. On Friday evening, the pipeline was shut down in response to a cyber attack. On Monday, the company said they were beginning to restore service. They hope to restore service by the end of the week. blah blah blah. On Monday, gas stations in Tallahassee, Atlanta, and North Carolina, Virginia had shortages, and so I believe some of the images actually show like lines. Okay, here you go. This is a racetrack gas station in on Monday in Atlanta. Out of all gas besides diesel due to gas shortage.
Oh my good holy God.
Look at these lines. This is in North Carolina. More
Jimmy
lines
Carter.
again.
Jimmy Carter all over again.
Exactly.
Now, Chicken, do you remember when oil went negative for like 3 days? You remember that last year?
The panic, yeah.
Oh, do you remember the panic that was in my voice?
Yeah. You were warning of not impending doom, but like if you don't take this serious.
Yeah, I said like our future is depending on what a June futures contract does. And that was a very scary, precarious time. And like I said, and when I see this and you're reading this, like I got my hands over my mouth because as I've said before, and I'll say it again to you beautiful people at the K.O.E Nation, it is the conversion of fuel to energy that determines the totality of life on this planet. And if that gets interrupted in any way, for any reason, for an extended amount of time, lots of people will die. So we need to do all we can to keep that conversion flowing because it's not just the 7 billion human beings. It is that conversion that determines the totality of all life on this planet. That is what determines if we can convert fuel to energy, that determines what and how we manage the rest of all life on this planet. So this is deathly serious. And so I'm going to be following this very, very closely. Do they have any idea, Chicken, who might be responsible for this or who has anybody taken credit or like I'll let you get a little deeper into the article.
I don't know if there's any consensus on what this is being caused from outside of they just talk about a cyber attack. This was a ransomware attack. The pipeline themselves, the company that runs the pipeline, shut down prematurely just to avoid having issues with potential deeper hacks. So it sounded like it was just like at a minimal level informational type breach. It didn't get down into infrastructure and how they actually do anything, but that's why they're slowly bringing things back up. They don't want to like if there is still anybody that's infiltrated this place, they don't want to I sound like a moron. Like I'm kind of technical, but I'm not technical. And when it comes to hacks, like they don't want to just be like, okay, we're gonna go back to normal because they're afraid they might still have some security breaches that they aren't aware of. So yeah, they don't know who this is. They don't know how this happened. It's just a hack. They got in, they shut it down themselves to avoid problems. And yeah, it's causing some havoc.
Oh Lord Almighty, I can just about imagine. Of course, it'll take me a minute to get to my commodities tables, but yeah, this is going to have some long reverberating effects in the commodities markets, which is then going
My
to
brain
reflect.
hurts. My brain hurts now.
I know, but like I said,
No. Here's why.
everything is
Here's
down.
why.
Oh no, let's hear it.
They always have to throw in Russian hackers.
Really?
Really?
Okay.
I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm
Corn
just like
is just a little bit down on overnight trading, but that's probably a correction from earlier today. But yeah, that's boy howdy. That's going to have long reverberating effects. And like I've said, everything is downriver from fuel. All the commodities other than gold and silver, say, follow fuel very closely. And even then, gold and silver still do, but just not as precisely. Because, like corn, for example, or any of the commodities that you use to, any foodstuffs require fuel to produce. Without fuel, the tractors don't run. Without
Correct.
petroleum, you don't have a lot of the fertilizers that people need. So, a lot of people don't realize just how tied the commodities markets are to each other, especially since 2008. Before that, there was a little bit of more divergence, but after 2008, commodities all just kind of more or less followed each other. Of course, you're going to find deviations.
Yeah, Chinchilla's got a comment there if you're going to pull that up.
So, Chinchilla, so interesting about this already high oil price, a surplus of kerosene, COVID, no planes, but the price plastic is sure to rise. Oh, yes, because I
Everything.
remember when I was a kid, I was about 18, 19. I was like, well, what the hell's plastic made out of? And I just looked it up and it's just petroleum. Shit. Okay. Boy, we really need this oil stuff. And so this hack attack, like, this is how you get a country by the balls. Like, this is definitely important, folks. Like, I don't know how. I remember one time I was reading an article about if an alien invasion were to come, it wouldn't strike your major cities. That would be stupid. It would hit about 6 major spots in the world that are responsible for about 80% of our oil infrastructure and our energy infrastructure, and then destroy those spots, float out back to orbit, wait about 6 weeks, and come back and scoop up what's left, which won't be much. Like that's how precarious this thing that we call society, like, it's as fragile as an autumn leaf. People don't really quite understand that. And the conversion of fuel to energy is what keeps it all going. It's why we're talking right now over the internet. Without the conversion of fuel to energy, there is no internet. And so this is, well, look at that.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Thinking about life. Yeah, I know, having to think about life without an internet. Thinking about life without being able to connect to your king of extreme, or being able to go to Big Buckin' Entertainment on YouTube and Facebook for Big Buckin' Empire. I mean, come on, folks. That's almost a crime against humanity to deprive you of K.O.E Nation on YouTube and Twitch. And also be sure to check out K.O.E Nation on YouTube, because this Friday, yes, this Friday, the Final Four of the Sweet 16 Bourbon Tournament finally drops, folks. And you're going to know what will be the Bourbon of Extreme. Yes. Yes, chicken.
Yes.
That was
I'm working on picking up all 4 of the Final Fours.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you, sir.
I only have one more to get.
Well, yeah, we won't reveal. Actually, everybody knows what the Final Four is. We've already gotten to the outside bracket, which I actually reached out to the Loop River Distillery. Just let them know how their amazing bourbon did. Loop River Distilling from Nebraska straight bourbon whiskey, in a blind taste test, crushed Colonel E.H. Taylor. So, folks, keep that in mind, that you don't have to go to the same distilleries to get great stuff. So, yes, Nebraska's own straight bourbon whiskey beat Colonel E.H. Taylor in the blind, but it did not move on. 1 point. It lost by 1 point to the one and only Breckenridge Bourbon. And, hell, chicken, I don't know. We might pull that video up a little later for the people to see. But, yes, Bourbon of Extreme. Yes, Chinchilla, we will find out this Friday what is the Bourbon of Extreme. So, when you see it, and really any of the Final Four, if you see them on a store shelf, pick it up. It's good shit. Yes, and so, folks, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube to see that, and you can find out what will be the Bourbon of Extreme, and then we're gonna maybe move on to see what's the Rye of Extreme. There's a lot of things we can do with the space that is the KOE Nation, and a lot of different ways we can arrive at. Chicken's had some good ideas. Tony's had some good ideas. I've had some amazing ideas, and we. Oh, Chicken's like, God damn it. It's like I can't be as much of an asshole.
Here's Phil's ideas. Tony and I are like, okay, let's pick like X amount of alcohols. Let's have a couple of drinks. Let's talk about them. Let's have a good time. Phil's like, you guys only talked about like 4 or 5. Let's do 12. And then Tony and I are like, okay. How about 8? And Phil's like, 16. And we're like, okay, fuck 12. All right, we'll go to fucking 12. Like, that's the negotiation tactics that seem to happen here.
What can I say? I'm a very persuasive fuck. But other than that,
you're asking me to drink more.
You're usually pretty persuadable. And yes,
WrestleMania, I'm always good for it.
WrestleMania, so. He helped set a record across WrestleMania weekend. We reviewed 20 different whiskeys across the WrestleMania weekend, which was really impressive.
And I held the title and brought it back home.
Oh, it was painful. It was pain. Yes, but that, folks, is over at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Check it out this Sunday. Chicken will defend his championship against moi, your King of Extreme, and Tony G over at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and on Spotify. I mean, Spotify, they might have got a pretty good deal with that guy, Joe Rogan. I mean, maybe a few of you have heard of him. But, I mean, it's no KOE Nation or nothing, and it's no Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, but that guy, he's got some potential. He reminds me a lot of a younger version of myself. He's got a lot of, he could go places. I mean, he's no KOE, but,
Phil, I sent him a tweet the other day, and I was like, Joe, you know how you fix your show. You just need to watch KOE and follow the mantra. Like he's got it all. It's a total package. If you just follow that, then Spotify will blow up and people actually pay money to sign up to Spotify instead of watching free shit on a free platform.
Oh, I mean, Chicken, you raised some excellent points. I mean, really every minute Joe doesn't have me on, he's just leaving money on the table, really. So
he is.
I mean, I suppose I could come lend some of my amazing star power to the Joe Rogan Experience. I mean, because the kid needs it. I mean, he really does.
Phil, you've brought this up several times, and Joe's a prime example of this. And Spotify doesn't see this. They see the advertising money when it comes to Joe Rogan, but you're like, hey, if I always had a product for free and then all of a sudden I have to pay for it, why the fuck would I pay for it?
Yeah, that seems just silly to me. Think of this every day. They've actually made memes about this of YouTube Premium. Would you like to sign up to YouTube Premium? You click no, and that's all right, fuck you. I'll see you tomorrow. They ask all the time. I'm not signing up for any of the premium shit. I'm going, and to me, it's and here's another example, and let me know if any of you do this. Whoa, hey, for a second that was me on my phone. So you were getting 2 fills for the price of 1. Whoa.
Oh, giggity.
I know. But how many times, this is the only thing I do. If I'm clicking through and I'm looking for news and it's okay, I'm curious about that article. And then it says, okay, you can read this article if you go through this paywall, click back, and I'm never going to that website ever again. That's just how I operate when I go on to any of those news websites is if I have to pay to get your content, I'm just clicking off. And that's why to me, if I ever get anything figured out on how to do that here, I'm like I even said, any money that comes my way, I'm just donating half of it to some good cause. You know what I mean? There's always a good cause. There's always somebody in need of a cause. That's so let's see here. We've got another comment from Chinchilla. I got a diploma in wines. I got me some free wines, but that's the only sponsorship I got. Nice, nice. I love wines. I'm a lover of red wines, white wines, rosés. I got my mother a bottle of wine from Virginia for Mother's Day. So yeah, I'm just a lover of wine. I love Bordeaux's, and I don't care. Wash me in your judgment. I love German Dornfelder. I know it's a simple, sweet grape, but I don't care. Wash me in your judgment. It's amazing. So that's so if you're into wines, what can I say? I am a lover of the grape and a lover of the vine.
Phil, I got one more news story
Ooh.
before I take off and leave you tonight.
All right.
Again, thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah.
This one is probably a little bit more scary. Um, our favorite politician always said fire a round in the air, shotgun blast in the air will scare everybody away. U.S. warship fires
That was Biden, not us. Oh shit.
yes. U.S. warship fires 30 warning shots at 13 Iranian attack boats targeting guided missile submarine Georgia and its escort of 7 military vessels as tensions rise further in the Strait of Hormuz. I'm not exactly sure where that is.
Now 30
30 30.
third now chicken, that sounds a lot like just firing on somebody. I don't know, like
Kinda.
30 warning shots. Now I'm no naval tactics expert. I will totally admit that. I am a farmer from Nebraska. I have gone halibut fishing in the ocean one time though. So that's my experience of being in an ocean. So I will fully admit I am not yet. Well, okay, let's be frank. I mean, if they were to ask me, I would give the best possible advice ever on any kind of strategy. I mean, come on. But I'll admit it's not my forte. So this one, I don't know what 30 warning shots would look like, but that does seem kind of like a, oh, what you gonna do? Like a, and hey, we actually got to the Gulf. I think it's the Gulf near Dubai. Yep. Thank you. So this is
Iranian boats were acting aggressive. The Coast Guard cutter fired warning shots from a 50 caliber machine gun before Iranian vessels left. Asked whether it appeared Revolutionary Guard are trying to pick a fight with the U.S. Navy. He declined to comment. Sadly, harassment by the IRGC Navy is not a new phenomenon. So yeah, they've been provoked before. This activity is kind of activity that could lead to somebody getting hurt, could lead to real miscalculation in the region, and that doesn't serve anybody's interest.
Okay. Now, when you said it's 50 cal, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense why it'd be 30, because when you start ripping on a Ma Deuce like that, like, yeah, 30 rounds are going to go downrange pretty quick. So that makes a little more sense, I guess. But still, that's one of those, oh, great. We're escalating tensions and firing live ammunition at each other now. Oh, good.
So the Strait of Hormuz is right. It's on this little peninsula here of the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Oh God, this
Don't
is
let
like
an evergreen boat go sideways there. You see that little choke point?
yeah. This is kind of a scary place for this shit to happen because, as you can see, like this chokes off supply chains to a lot of areas that are actual U.S. Allies there. Pretty much all on the left side are all U.S. allies, and Iran, of course, being across the other side of the Persian Gulf. If they close off that choke point, Yeah,
Boy, so that just looks like a bunch of folks who just get along day in, day out that are all shit.
exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
that's what's going on.
Chinchilla, it's the most contested strait in the world. The strait serves to get
Yep.
most oil from the Middle East. So, yep. So the Strait of Hormuz, and yeah, when you're looking at that map, it's like, well, everybody in that neighborhood seems to just get along. So yeah, I was like, oh, you knew that was going to break it, but when you said 30 rounds, I figured we were firing 30 rounds of artillery, which is
Yeah,
oh my god.
yeah.
But yeah, 30 rounds from a mod deuce, like you pull the triggers on one of those big old 50 cals, you're going to send 30 rounds downrange pretty quick. So, but that shows you
That's
how
still escalation.
oh
It's not as heavy as originally thought, but
no, but hey, how we doing there? Welcome to the show. Welcome, all you beautiful people. Come on. But yeah, so chicken, that's still, like you said, it's an escalation. And me being, anti-war Phil, I'm actually the biggest shill on the internet for big peace. Like it's my number one mission. I need to shill for peace whenever I can. This ain't good. It's the opposite of good. Like I've said for other times when you're like, yeah, Phil, it's the opposite of good. That's a nice way of putting it. Uh, well, hey. Oh, well, that's lovely. That's lovely.
something from nothing. Yes, I'll just answer you. Yes.
Oh, Lord Almighty. Now watch yourself. Contain yourself, children. All right, Chichilla. So, where do you guys stand on having a deal with Iran? Oh God, that's a rough one. That is a tough. Like, if there was a deal that would actually result in a lasting peace that could be trusted, I would really like to see that. But whenever the deal is Iran, you can't have a nuclear missile, and we get to look at all your shit, they're not gonna fully, uh, they're not gonna fully respect that because let's be frank, when you
Not
look at
only will they not respect it, but we're not gonna actually like hold them to account. So just
well, now the thing is, the reason why Iran and just about every other nation under God's green earth wants a nuclear missile is because it is the greatest deterrent to invasion that's
Mhm.
ever been invented. You'll notice we do not invade nuclear nations, so that's just I. No nuclear invasion gets invaded by anybody, and Iran is thinking, huh? Boy, if you look at our borders on both the east and the west side, there's something going on here. And so I'm not saying it's a good thing. I would prefer if there was no proliferation of extra nuclear weapons at all, but that's not the world we live in. So any deal with Iran, if there would be an honest deal that could actually lead us to a lasting peace in that region, God bless it. Yes. I mean, who wouldn't want to sign it? The problem is it's the old Ronald Reagan adage of trust but verify. Can we actually get there? I don't think the previous Iran nuclear deal actually got us there. It got good headlines. It was great at that. It was one of the best deals at getting headlines, but I don't think it really achieved what we were wanting, and that was peace and no further nuclear armaments in the region.
no, fair enough. Phil,
Naughty.
I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna plug my shit real quick. Facebook.com/Big Buckin. Check me out. YouTube.com/Big Buckin Empire. You can find me there. Yeah, Phil, have a good night, sir. It is getting late. I gotta get my ass up early in the morning for work. And for the few Chinchilla, the only one on Twitch. Big Buckin Entertainment on Twitch. We're on there. We're on there once every other week. So
Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast has something to say right before you go, Chicken.
all right, Tony, you son of a bitch.
Chicken is a bitch.
So that's coming from the guy that thinks he can
oh,
win this back from me, but he's not going to. This weekend, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, we are putting the title up on the line. We'll see. Pretty sure I'm going to hang on to that for the third straight pay-per-view. But anyway, I'm going to hop off. You guys have a good night, and see y'all next time.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Yes. All right. What do you think? Chinchilla, what do you think? If Iran could be our ally, I think they would love it. Iran isn't the perfect country, but so are the Saudi. Well, here's the thing, Chinchilla, and I'll get to some of these 10-time champ on Sunday, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Yes, definitely check it out. Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, and Big Buckin Empire, Big Buckin Entertainment on Twitch. But yes, and Tony, if you're in the comments, would you kindly type that into the comments for some of our beautiful people, and we'll get that to you. But in regards to if Iran could be our ally, the thing is there's no such thing as a truly timeless enemy. Take any of the enemies that seem irretractable right now, and do you really think that in the year 2121 they will still be at each other's throats the way they are? I would be very shocked if that were the case. We're all people. We've got hopes, dreams, families, desires, aspirations, and that's why there's never really been a timeless enemy throughout humanity. Like, you can't really point to one. So it would be marvelous if Iran was an ally in the region. I mean, are you kidding me? Now, granted, like you said, they're not a perfect country, but it would be kind of like moving up from a mud hut to a stone hut. You're still not living in like this palatial mansion, but you have improved. And I think that is a worthwhile thing. And here we go, Elsa. Why are the global police, we have the United Nations and other entities that are supposed to be monitoring those countries, yet yes, United States of America. Why are we the global police? We have the oh, there we go. Now I got you. Why are we the global police? Because power doesn't come from treaties. It doesn't come from groups. It doesn't come from boards sitting around and making decisions. It unfortunately comes from armies. That's where political power comes from in the it's the Game of Thrones lines. No, I believe power comes from armies, and guess who's got the best one? Yo! And that's why the United Nations, it's a nice figurehead. It's a nice figurehead to take, take some of the blame, I guess. And it's I don't know. It's one of those. You do have to wonder what's their point when you look at how they've handled some pretty bad situations throughout the world. It's like, really? The joke is UN unhelpful. The United States of America can't even take him or take care of his own people. So why are we the global police? Because unfortunately, there's no one else. I don't like it. I really don't. But it's like there was a song by Deke Jackson. When there's problems, don't bother to call. United Nations, from their tower, they can do fuck all. United Nations. Yeah, so that's kind of how they're viewed worldwide, and even, a little bit by your King of Extreme here. I mean, the United Nations has they do some good around the world, but boy, there's sometimes you can point at some big fuck-ups. Yes, watch Big Buckin Entertainment with me on Twitch with Tony G, RevRest Pod. But yes, there's the Big Buckin Entertainment Twitch handle right there, folks. Another great show that has your King of Extreme on it, and you can catch all your K.O.E content. And yes, anytime. I'm sorry, I'm going to text to speech while driving, so please excuse the English. Hey, no problem at all. We love the interaction, and definitely drive safe, because I want you to come back to the next KOE Nation stream happy, healthy, much the wiser, and a bit more extreme than you were the day before. Yes. So yes, Alesto TV, thank you for joining us. Yeah, I don't care. Guess who also has spelling mistakes on occasion? This guy. Boy, howdy. Ask Tony. My grammar and spelling is sometimes. Now I've gotten a lot better, but what can I say? Chinchilla. The U.S. actually disbanded European colonialism, but you need an international community, and countries aren't equal. Some big, some small, and that is true. There is all countries are not equal. The United States is a very interesting nation, just in terms of its geography and the fact that it became such a huge world power in a very short amount of time. And the invention of the atomic bomb is not unrelated to that, if I were to be honest with you. After World War II. Yes, yes, yes. Chinchilla, make sure to join us on Thursday, May 20th on Big Bucket. Oh, yes, the Andre the Giant Beer Challenge. On the 20th of May, Andre the Giant one time drank 156 beers in a single setting. And we are going to match that in one setting, but we need all of you to come together to Big Bucket Empire on Twitch, Big Bucket Empire on YouTube. And if you're in the comments and you just want to crack open a beer and drink it and say, hey, I drank a beer for Andre, that is going on the tally. Every last one of you beautiful people in the audience can help. And this will be the day after Andre the Giant's birthday. And this will be our tribute to the boss himself, Andre. So yes, Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube, Big Buckin' Empire on Twitch, Big Buckin' Entertainment and Empire on Facebook. Check it out, because we're going to do this together and we're going to honor the boss. Yes, yes. And thank you, Chinchilla. Alesto TV. Call, buddy. I'm still here, but like I said, I'm driving home, so just tell you to talk to. Then I can message you. That way, it's not the greatest when it comes to English or any language. Well, hey, what are you gonna do? Believe it or not, English is my first language, and you wouldn't guess it by listening to me. I kid. Rev Res Pot. Yes, please do come, Chinchilla, or any of your friends. It'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to have every last one of you beautiful people for the Andre the Giant Beer Challenge. We're going to try and actually match. We did the math. Andre the Giant, if he were to be drinking 3-2 beer, with his height, his metabolism, and his size, could have actually made it to 156 before making it to just losing consciousness point. So yes, Andre the Giant, we're going to honor the boss, and you can all join us on that beautiful occasion when we get together. And Andre, I mean, he was my favorite wrestler growing up. There was none that I loved more than one André Le Géant, to speak his native Français. But yes, he was very special to me growing up. When I saw for the first time Hulk Hogan pick up Andre the Giant and drop him with the body slam, I fucking lost it. That was it. I was just losing it. Oh my God. Andre, to me, I believe the whole Andre hasn't been off his feet in 10 years. Like, no, far be it from a wrestling promotional lie. But yes, that blew me away. And ever since then, we now have a chance to give a tribute to the boss, the one and only Andre the Giant. And that's going down. Once again, I'm bringing it up May 20th on Big Buckin' for the Andre the Giant Beer Challenge. Yes, Big Buckin' Entertainment, Big Buckin' Empire. It's a great time. It's just a great place to be. Thirsty Thursdays for the Dog and Chicken Show on Big Buckin' Empire. You really can't go wrong. But yes, but before you do that, be sure to like, share, subscribe right here at the K.O.E Nation. Follow me on K.O.E Nation because, well, let's be frank, you need to keep up with your K.O.E content. But yes, so that's what's been going on in the happenings of Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, K.O.E Nation, Big Buck and Empire, because I'm a man too extreme and too big for just one show, for just one empire, for just one kingdom. So, folks, be sure to follow all of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of that with all of you beautiful people. And my word, we got some more. If in drinking O'Doul's, I could match and beat the. Well, O'Doul's, nice, nice. The non-alcoholic beer. Hey, however you want to help, we'll count it. We don't care. Hey, it's fine. Your text to speech is just fine. Don't worry about it. I can still interpret what you're trying to say there. But yeah, so if you want to drink an O'Doul's, we'll count it towards the boss. I don't really care. Hey, c'est la vie, live as you want to live. And so, yes, that would be amazing if any of you beautiful people could come in and help us just raise our glasses to the boss. And if there's any memories of Andre the Giant or just any kind of memories of wrestling of that era you'd like to share, please come on by. It'll be a great, great time. But yes, also at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, there is something you really need to see. This Friday, the conclusion of the Bourbon Tournament. If you do not know, you need to see it. Be sure to check it out because that will be when you know the bourbon of extreme. You can leave all others on the shelf and you know this is the one that I need. But yes, folks, it's been quite an interesting week. I'm a farmer that's been planting out in the fields and haven't had a lot of time to stream, but I'm glad that I finally got to come out and just consort with my K.O.E Nation and all of you beautiful people and all of the gorgeous, marvelous, big-brained, Aristotelian logic, most beautiful, handsome, erudite audience in all God's creation, the K.O.E Nation. And yes, folks, I love coming and meeting all of you and getting to interact with all of you. And oh, we got a comment here. How do you feel about corn subsidies within the U.S.? That is a deep, deep subject. Now, all right, since you're here and you asked, I'm going to let you know a little secret. Okay, it's a real big misconception that people think that farmers are subsidized to not raise crops on land, and that has not been the system of subsidy in the United States since 1972 when it was changed by Dr. Earl Butz under Richard Nixon. He was Nixon's Secretary of Agriculture. In 1972 and on, there has been the idea to incentivize overproduction of grain, and that has created the cheap food policy of the United States. It's one of the dirty little secrets of the economic success of America post gold standard was this cheap food policy. And if you actually, it still tracks about 17 to 20%, depending on how the economy is doing that year, of Americans' annual income is spent on food. That's it. 17 to 20%. And that includes all the restaurants, grocery stores, all the stops for gas station candy bars, what have you. About 17 to 20% of annual income. So that leaves all that extra income that can be invested elsewhere. Now go to different places around the world. Go to places where, like, if there's stretches of South America, stretches of places in Africa, in Southeast Asia, and in East Asia, where people have to labor 40, 50, 60% of their daily labor goes to pay for food. And that's a lot less money to invest in things. And that right there, once you realize it, is one of the dirty little secrets of our economic success as a nation. Now, as a farmer, I would really appreciate, like, I wouldn't have, like, fine, we could completely decouple in that regard, so long as the governments of the world stopped using our food as a weapon. Like, I would really appreciate that. Like, I totally understand people. I understand your thoughts on this, but when you realize that us farmers in this very interesting position or precarious position where politicians end up using our food as a weapon to try and starve out people or to try and get their way or to try and, or even another one where they drop too much aid grain in certain places. And so it just destroys the local farm market because you can't compete with free. So if we didn't have that, that would be a much more positive outcome for the world. So in regards to what you're saying, like, am I a fan of it? No. Do I understand the mechanics of it? There is a logic to it. So that's just giving you a little bit of analysis from this side of the tracks of a guy that lives and dies by the rains in the skies and the prices on the board. So, let's see. So, what do you do with the excess corn, so to speak? Oh boy, that is a big question. That's